All right, so it looks like there's been a change of plans for Charles Oliveira. Instead of fighting Rafael Fiziev, now he's going to be fighting Mateusz Gamrot. And this is a fight that I actually think is better than the fight with Rafael Fiziev because honestly, how many people can say, oh, Fiziev deserves a step up? You know, he deserves a fight for the top five because Oliveira right now I think is around top 4, top 5. And Fiziev just lost to Gaethje after what? Fiziev was like top 8. I don't even know if Fiziev was like top 10 or anything like that. So it makes you think, does Fiziev even deserve a match with Oliveira in the first place? I mean, he did lose to Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje is not really... I know they say Gaethje's like top 1, top 2. I don't know what Gaethje's rankings is on the UFC website, but even then, when you realize that Gaethje does not deserve a title shot, he's not anywhere near there, in my opinion. He needs at least one more win, but that's a separate title for who deserves the title shot right now. Anyways, in my opinion, this fight is better than Fiziev, and I actually do think that Mateusz Gamrot wins this fight. And I know a lot of people are going to say, how can you say that? Because Gamrot, you know... oh, he's never really beat anyone that's special. He's never really beat anyone tough. But I'm like, Gamrot is really good. Gamrot is one of those people that's like underrated in my opinion because when you remember the fact that he beat Arman Tsarukyan, the thing you have to consider is I know it was a split decision and a lot of people say Arman won, but the fact that you can make it competitive with Arman Tsarukyan, who a lot of people consider is like the best in the division besides Ilia Topuria, then that's really the big issue. If you can go head to head with a guy who a lot of people consider is like the second best fighter in the division, or I guess the best fighter if you're not including the champion right now, Ilia Topuria, or the former champion Islam Makhachev, because he's moved up a division. He's about to fight JDM right now in like a couple months. Then I think this fight is a lot more competitive than people say it is. And here's the thing too, you have to remember that Topuria, or my bad, Oliveira, he just got knocked out. He just got knocked out by Topuria of all people. And it's not only that, Oliveira's a little bit older. He's not younger. I think he's 35, 36. And after he just took a nasty knockout, you know, it's been like, what, 4 months he's got knocked out? Not even 4 months. I think it's been 3 months, actually. Because, well, by the time he fights, it's not even going to be 4 months. It's going to be like 3 months and a half, which is crazy if you think about it. 3 months and a half after getting brutally knocked out by Topuria, it's not enough recovery time. If I was him, I wouldn't fight until January next year, in my opinion, because it's just so risky. And I know Gamrot isn't really the type of guy that can knock people out. I mean, you guys remember that double jab against Dan Hooker? That was awful. But even then, Gamrot does have like a little snapped in his punch. It's not a lot, but it's still better than nothing. It's still better than nothing, honestly. And I do think that he's just not going to be as fast anymore. When you take damage like that, usually you're not moving the same. Unless you're like a Volkanovski, but even Volk looks slower compared to before the Topuria fight. Or before the Diego Lopez fight. You guys remember seeing Diego Lopez and Volkanovski fight? I thought Volkanovski looked slower. Like, he was still fast. He was still very fast for the division. But then you remember like how he was doing against Topuria in the first round. And he was very fast. I think it was even faster than Topuria, honestly. Prime Volk, man, that guy was different. That guy hit different. But anyways, I think this fight is a lot closer than people say it is. And I actually have Gamrot winning this fight. I really do. I think Gamrot is going to win a decision. Now, do I think Gamrot can submit Oliveira? And probably not. I think it's going to be very hard for that to happen. But I do think he beats him. And I do think he beats him by a decision. It's just not that much of a fight that you would think is obvious who's the winner is like 5 years ago. If this was 3-4 years ago, then I would say Oliveira wins. Maybe even 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago. But after you just got knocked out, you're not going to be moving the same. This is the first time Oliveira has been knocked out in a long, long time. The last time Oliveira has gotten a finish, I believe, was the Islam Makhachev fight, which was a submission. I mean, submitting Oliveira is definitely a lot more impressive than KOing him, but either way, it's nothing compared to the damage you get if you get knocked out brutally. That type of knockout, you need 6 months to recover. It's not something that you just say, you know what, I just got knocked out. I want to come back. I want to fight already. You know, I'm going to fight Rafael Fiziev. And even then, Fiziev was a bad matchup for him, honestly. Like, even though I think Oliveira is definitely the better fighter, 3 months and a half to recover on that chin. And I know Fiziev, people overrate his power. He's not as deadly as people would say he is. Oh, Fiziev, he's a marauder, man. He can knock out anyone in the division. Yeah, I never bought into that. He's good, but he's also a little bit undersized for the division. He's not the strongest guy, and he's not like this heavy hitter like Gaethje was. And even then, Gaethje's power is a little bit overrated. I know that's weird that people would say Gaethje's power is overrated. Some people will call me crazy for that. But I don't think Gaethje hits as hard as he used to. Gaethje was better before he got all technical. When he got all technical, that's when the knockouts stopped happening and everything like that. Of course, the move up in competition, too, is a thing, too. It's definitely going to be harder to knock out people when you fight better guys that also might be having better chins, or guys that can also knock you back. The last knockout Gaethje had was against Dustin Poirier in the rematch, and that was a good one. But still, Gaethje, in my opinion, is not this unbeatable guy with monster KO power. I don't think anyone at 155 has that amazing KO power anymore, honestly. I think the only guy that has like monstrous KO power at this point is Poirier, the guy who can actually really knock you out with any punch. But anyways, if you want my opinion for this fight and my predictions, I think what's going to happen is Mateusz Gamrot is going to win like a 50-47 or some shit like that. Basically, they're both going to trade 2 wins or 2 rounds, and I think Gamrot is just going to slightly edge it by 1 more round. Although it would be cool if Oliveira wins, just so he can like say, you know, Unk still got it. You know, Unk still got it. And another thing too is that if we're going by the history of the previous opponents of Poirier, everyone wins. For example, Volk wants he won his next fight. Max won his next fight. If we're going by history, there's a chance that Oliveira could win his next fight. And not only does that improve Poirier's resume, because it proves, oh, these guys weren't washed when they fought me, it also says that, you know, these guys still got it. They're still some of the best in the division. And I hope that happens. I want to see Oliveira, you know, still stay in title contention. Do I ever think he'll get a title shot again? Nah, I don't see it. I think at most he might fight for a title eliminator, but that's really about it. I don't think Oliveira is going to ever have a title shot again. The only title shot I can see him having again is for the BMF title with Max Holloway, which is still a fight I want to see. I think win, lose, or draw, whatever happens, I still want to see Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. And I think that if Max beats Oliveira at that point, you got to give him a title shot. And the funny thing is, too, Max's resume at lightweight, if he does beat Oliveira, is already pretty insane. Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Oliveira, you know, only 3 wins in the lightweight division, and he already got those 3 legendary names. I think Max is actually like the 2nd or 3rd best fighter in the division right now. I know a lot of people say Armin is the next guy up, but if I actually think that an Armin and Max fight is a lot competitive than people think. Not that many people will bring up that fight. Not that many people say it's even going to happen. But I think if that fight ever did happen, it'll be a lot closer than people think. Anyways, my final prediction for this fight would be Mateusz Gamrot winning by split decision by just 1 more round. I think he wins 3 rounds, and I think Oliveira will win 2 rounds. But I do want Oliveira to actually win this matchup just because it makes it more interesting. And Oliveira is a little bit weird. He was like saying people don't want to fight him, like, oh, people are ducks, they don't want to fight me. And then when he was offered certain people to fight, he just turned them down. So right now, lightweight has kind of turned into the ducking division. It used to be welterweight, but now welterweight is like a division where everybody fights. Nobody wants to stay still, which I think is really cool now. But lightweight is, yeah, it's just a bunch of like old heads now that just refuse to fight each other, unfortunately. Which is why I think lightweight is kind of like the overrated division. It's not really as good as it used to be a couple years ago, like a year or 2 ago. Since Poirier, my bad, since Islam Makhachev moved up, the division has been screwed a little bit, and Poirier is a little bit of a weirdo who doesn't want to fight that often. Anyways, that's it for this video. I can't wait for this fight to happen. I really do think it's going to be like a grappling clinic. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight. I think their styles are going to cancel each other out, and you might have a striking match. But I do think Mateusz Gamrot is just going to win. But there's recipes for Oliveira to win. I do think Oliveira has more ways to win. I think he can maybe pull a sneaky KO, like by pressuring Gamrot. Or maybe he can do a submission. Gamrot, in my opinion, I can't really see him doing anything to win by a submission. I just think Oliveira is too good to be submitted. But I do think he can win by a decision. And I do think he's more likely to win by a decision than Charles. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you guys in the next one.